It's very good boring TRB aspirants, TRB electrical aspirants especially. There is a little delay in offering the solutions for electrical. So we are going in department wise, one by one, especially on the subjects first, covering circuits, controls, analog, digital, and little bit of SS. Okay, right? And formally will be covering the remaining part of SS and other subjects, power system, machines, powertronics. Okay, Max and general. Okay, so the key will be updated very soon. Okay. So myself, Kumaran, already have introduced, okay, once for the easy solutions. Okay, so alumnus of IIT Madras, founder and director of EasyGate, situated in Chennai. Okay, so we mainly offer the coaching for GATE and IES. And in the last year, we also offered the courses for TRB and TNAB. And we trained our students to the GATE level actually, even though they came for TRB and TNAB AE, expected that the paper level may become little better. Okay, so that's what we expected. Okay, so the same way it happened for the disciplines ECE and ECE Triple E and E&I. Okay, so the comparing to the paper of ECE and E&I, the electrical paper is more or less easy one, and whereas they pulled it up a little for ECE and E&I. Okay, this is what expected in upcoming competitive examinations. Okay, it's all up to the authority who is the one organizing or setting the paper. Okay, right? So since majority of GATE aspirants and IES aspirants also appearing, okay, the chance of cracking for the GATE and IES aspirants in any other competitive examinations like TRB and TNAB AE is more. So we suggest you every aspirant in any competitive examination to raise the bar to the GATE level. Okay, so that you don't feel it's tough during the examination. The paper may become tough in future. Okay, so with this suggestion, let me get into the solutions. Okay, so even in Triple E paper, the problems are little higher level. Okay, so but not compared to that of ACE and E&I paper. Okay, but still relatively it is a easy paper. I hope majority of you gave very good attempt in this paper. Okay, so probably the cutoff will be higher for electrical students comparing to ECE and E&I students because relatively the paper is less. Okay, but still, okay, the cutoff level of the cutoff, okay, how much cutoff the paper is going to have depends on, okay, the group of people who have attempted this paper. Okay, if more number of GATE and IES aspirants appeared for this examination means, okay, so relatively the cutoff will further increase. Okay, because they have a good opportunity to score because they have an habit of instantly striking the answer because they go to their level of okay, practicing. Okay, right? So for them any paper is instant, so they won't take more than even a minute for 2 marks sometimes. Okay, so that depends on how hard their practice is. Okay, they are the real competitors. Okay, so GATE and IES aspirants, okay, so always come out with flying colors because the exams, okay, this TRB and TNAB are little lower level, is lower comparing to GATE and IES level. Okay, so they feel the papers are nothing irrespective of the difficulty level of TRB or TNAB papers. Okay, so that's a suggestion. So in upcoming examinations, okay, so irrespective of looking for what cutoff will be, so better you channelize your efforts for the upcoming examination. Okay, right? But anyway, you might have given a very good attempt. Okay, nothing to worry about it. As of now, don't have a dilemma what will be the cutoff and how much it will be, all those things, nothing in our hand. Okay, it's not completely in our control. Okay, so what was in our control was only the examination. Okay, so that is over. Okay, you have did your best. Okay, so be calm and get ready for the upcoming examination. By the time the selection list comes, definitely you know the cutoff. Okay, so need not to spend time on looking for what will be the cutoff and all those things. Okay, that's my simple suggestion from my side, so that you can effectively use the available time for the upcoming examination. So especially for electrical students, the upcoming examination is the TNAB. Okay, so get ready for that. Okay, so it will be relatively almost same standard as your TRB a polytechnic examination. That is the expectation. Okay, that's what happened in the last DNAB AE as well. Expect majority of the problems almost identical to what happened in GATE or IES. Okay, so or it may be a copy paste from GATE or IES papers. Okay, so raise your bar as well. So as an engineer, always you are a problem solver. Okay, try to solve more problems. Okay, right, don't hesitate to solve the problems. Okay, so have your stuff. Okay, so even you can answer GATE and IES problem like that, so that if you raise your bar slightly ahead of your competitive examination, then you will feel the examination is nothing and there won't be any nervousness throughout the examination. You can maintain the calm and composure throughout the exam. Okay, so that's a key for the success. Okay, yes. So with this, okay, small tip. Okay, let me begin the EEE solutions. So we'll begin with 2 marks. So the first 2 mark to begin with, that's from digital to analog converter. So what's given? We have a 4-bit DAC producing an output 0.1 volt for a digital code of or digital input of 0001. Okay, what is that? We'll see. So how we represent a DAC? So DAC we refer like this, the symbol of the DAC. That's how we draw shortly. That's a short symbol. That's how we call a DAC. It may have V reference. As of now, the problem is not with respect to the V reference and the ground. So what we produce in the output is VDAC, V0 or VDAC we call, and it is going to sense 4-bit input. Since it is usually I will say like this. So how many inputs? Draw one line. Okay, then simply mark the number of bits. So instead of that, okay, let me represent this. Okay, in detail, since it is having only 4 bits. So let the bits are okay in order B3, B2, binary bits. Okay, that's additional data. So B3 will be the MSB, B2, B1, B0. By default, B3 will serve as the MSB bit. That is the leftmost bit of your data given will be the MSB, and the rightmost bit will be the LSB bit. Okay, so what's the data given now is B3, B2, B1, B0 is given. So then the output, this is the input, 4-bit input, digital input. So this is your digital input data, and the DAC is converting digital data into an analog data, just opposite to a quantizer. Okay, so quantizer, for every analog sample, it will give a digital code, and this is going to get the digital code and produce the analog value for it. Okay, right? So we'll see. So the code given, what is the output given? A hint is given for the LSB. That means how we can usually go means first you can make the LSB, then you can make it for the next bit, you can make it for the next bit. Okay, then you can make it for the next bit. That's how usually we expect quickly, okay, the output of any digital to analog converter. Okay. Yes, this is how we go for the output. So minimum you make the corresponding bit 1. So when LSB alone 1, what is the resultant? And B1 alone 1, what is the resultant? B2 alone and B3 alone. So it's easy. So yes, given only for the LSB bit alone, it is 0.1 volt. That's output of your DAC. VDAC produces 0.1 means Then for this alone, it will be double the output. So it will be 0.2. That's the logic of a digital to analog converter. Okay, because the code is actually 8421 code. If 1 corresponding to 0.1 means 2 will be corresponding to 0.2, then 4 will be corresponding to 4 into 0.1. You can take it. It's going to be 0.4. Then this is corresponding to 8 into that 0.1. It is going to be 0.8 volt. Okay, now what he is asking, so find the full scale output of a 4-bit DAC. Full scale means, so when you give all 0 input, so all are 0, then the DAC is going to produce 0 volt. That's a minimum voltage. Okay, that's output range. This is input range. Your input code can vary from all zeros to all ones, and then output will vary what? Okay, so when you give a full scale input, then there is going to be a full scale output. Okay, so full scale output means you have to place all the bits as 1. That's a maximum input combination for the binary data, 4-bit data. Then what it will produce means, if only 1 is 1, okay, then that is B0 alone 1.1, B1 alone 1 is 0.2, then B2 alone 1 means 0.4. Similarly, B3 alone 1 is 0.8 mean, then all are 1 means, then the result is simply sum of this. Okay, that's your result. So 1111 at digital code, 4-bit digital code will produce sum of this. So 0.8 plus 0.4, 1.2. So then if you add them, then 1.2 plus 0.2, 1.4 plus 0.1. So it's going to be 1.5. Otherwise, okay, so 00001 is binary and the corresponding decimal is 1 base 10. And all ones means it's a base of 2, then the corresponding decimal is 15. So if 1 is making 0.1, then 15 will make what? Means 15 into 0.1 also a good logic. With that, you will straight away go for the answer 1.5 volts. Such a simple problem for 2 marks. Okay. And hope majority of the students, okay, so might have attempted this and got a good mark. Okay, so 1.5 is, see, there are very closest options 1.4 and 1.6, but still, okay, so you go by the logic. Instead of eliminating the answers, you go for the logic, then you will straight away get your answer, right answer. You need not to think about other options. Okay, so output of DAC is 1.5. That's a perfect answer. Okay, so there won't be any deviation even if answer key is released by TRB. You can check it. So most of the answers I'm suggesting will be almost 100% accurate, almost. Okay. Next one. The next one is from control system. That's very easy. Probably everyone might have given the correct answer for this. So every TRB aspirant, okay, we'll check, okay, what will be the correct answer for this. The transfer function of the block diagram, okay, fine. So what we have is, so there are 2 ways. One is, whenever a block diagram is given, there are 2 ways. One is reducing your block diagram into transfer function. That's by using block diagram reduction technique. With that, you can straight away convert this into a transfer function. It's looking for the transfer function only, so you can take this as y of s and this is r of s. What we are looking for is y of s by r of s. Okay, so one way is reducing small building blocks, and so that you can finally convert that into a single box. Okay, that is having input r of s, output y of s. Another way is there, that's a very interesting way, that's a signal flow graph way. But what is given is not a signal flow graph, only a block diagram. So there is a technique, important technique. Once who mastered signal flow graph will be really knowing about this. The idea is any block diagram can be visualized as a signal flow graph. Any block diagram can be visualized as a signal flow graph. Straight away you can go with Mason's gain formula. Okay, right? So then we'll see. I'll take that route. Okay. So anyway, for your clarity, I will talk about the block diagram reduction route also. As of now, let me go with this SFG and its gain formula. So we'll see. That's a fastest route. Okay. By SFG way, I'm going to view the given block diagram as a SFG. So then I'm going to find the overall transfer function straight away like this. T of S. That's nothing but Y of S by R of S. That can be written as sigma I is equal to 1 to k. K represents number of forward paths. Pi delta I by delta. That's your gain formula. Okay. So SFG's gain formula. So then how many number of forward paths we have means, yes, refer the number of forward paths. How many forward paths we have means, so through, you can start from R, you can pass through this. That's one forward path, and this is going to be another forward path. So there are 2 forward paths. Therefore, the k is going to be 2. So k is equal to 2 means the transfer function now reduces to, so k will take up to 2 means the expression transfer function becomes p1 delta 1 plus p2 delta 2 divided by delta. That's your transfer function y of s by r of s. The goal is now to find out delta p1 and p2. Since we are marking the forward paths, okay, so two forward paths, let us go for the forward path gains. What is p1? First it is, okay, getting into the summing point with a plus sign, so it's plus 1. Okay, if it is minus, you have to go with minus 1. Then it is passing through the block 4 by s, that's a root first path, and again getting into the plus, so it is plus 1. Okay, it's a multiplication you are doing, then it is 1 by s. That's the first forward path gain. What is that? It's 4 by s square. And similarly, you can go for the second forward path, that is your P2. So this is the first forward path gain. What is the second forward path gain? Again, you are passing through the same summing point, but instead of going through 4 by s, we are going through the another path that is having a gain of 2. Then again, you are getting into the summing point, that is plus. If it is given minus, take it minus 1. Then it's passing through the same integrator box 1 by s. Okay. So then the result is going to be 2 by s. So this is 2 by s and this is 4 by s square. There are two forward paths. Okay, so forward paths are over. Before commenting on delta 1 and delta 2, first I need to talk about delta of the given block diagram. So delta means, for that I need the loops actually. So how many loops we have means, so possible loops, let me go with. So I'm beginning with the summing point. The possible loop is, this is the simplest loop. Okay, that's a loop 1, let me say. And any other loop means, yes, I can go this way, this way, this way, this way. That is my possible second loop. So this is loop 1 and this is loop 2. Yes, go for the loop gains. Similar to how we got the forward path gains, go for the loop gain. So what's the loop gain 1? L1 will be equal to, it may be relatively a complex root then the block diagram, but still it's a root. It's up to you. Okay, but if you go with the gain formula, it's going to be instant. Since I'm going slowly, you feel like it is relatively taking more time. Okay, so instantly tell me now, what is your L1? You're going by 4 by s, you're going by 1 by s, then entering minus, so it's going to become minus 4 by s square instantly. And what is the loop 2? Loop 2 will be equal to your, instead of traveling by 4 by s, you're going through 2, 1 by s minus 1, it's going to be minus 2 by s. And these two loops are touching loops, therefore your delta will become simply 1 minus sum of individual loop gains L1 plus L2. That's all. So what about delta 1 and delta 2 means? Delta 1, delta 2 are equal to 1 because both the forward paths are touching the available loops. Okay, so both the loops are covered by the two forward path. Therefore, delta I of the corresponding forward paths will be equal to 1. Yes, you got all the value, you got all the values. Substitute, then you will get your answer. So let me take P1 is known. P1 is 4 by s square. P2 is 2 by s. Delta 1 is 1. Delta 2 also 1. And delta is equal to 1 minus sum of individual loop gains. 1 minus, yes, they are touching loops. So there is no 2 non-touching and 3 non-touching combination. Then it is going to become 1 plus 4 by a square plus 2 by s you will get. So take LCM, delta will become, so taking LCM as a square, then you will get a square plus 4s plus 2 you will get. That's your delta. Then substitute in your gain formula. Then the transfer function reduces to, it's simply P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 divided by delta. Means what is P1 delta 1 plus P1 delta 2? So let me add this. P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 is equal to, what is P1? It's 4 by s square, and this is into 1, and P2 2 by s, so it's going to be this. So that means, so taking s square as LCM, you will get 4s plus 1 minute, 4 plus 2s. You'll get 4 plus 2s after taking LCM. Okay, right? Fine. So 4 plus 2s. Okay, so then the numerator is going to be 4 plus 2s by s square. Okay, divided by the denominator is s square plus 4s plus 2. The whole divided by s square. These two will get cancelled. Then the transfer function reduces to 4 plus. Otherwise, in order, going with the highest order, so you can write it as 2s plus 4 divided by s square plus 4s plus 2 will be your answer. Okay, That's by gain formula. So we'll see how relatively the block diagram route is better. Okay, so what is the answer? So 2s plus 4 should be the numerator. Yes, we have two options, C and D, and denominator has to be s square plus 4s plus 2. Okay, any mistake committed? I'm getting 4s, a square plus 4s plus 2. Okay, that's a mistake. Okay, where is a mistake? Here is a mistake. In the LCM, I committed the mistake. What is that? Yes. So a square. So then I won't get 4s, I will get 2s. A square plus 2s plus 4 I will get. That should be the correction everywhere. 2s plus 4 and 2s plus 4 is the correction. Okay, then any other mistake? Yes, here I played carefully, but here, okay. So a square plus 2s plus 4 you will get. That's fine then. So that's your denominator. So that's your answer. 2s plus 4 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4. Luckily, the wrong of whatever the answer we got is didn't match. Okay, so we are able to correct our response. That's why a small verification always mandatory. So 2s plus 4 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4 will be the answer. So the right answer is option D. That's how you can be very blind. Okay, so there is no much formula. Yes, you have to remember the SFG formula. That is universal. You can use it for both SFG as well as for the block diagram reduction technique. Okay, I'll give you one more way how people might have tried by using block diagram reduction technique. Actually, there is a trade-off. Okay, so one may be relatively faster than the other. Okay, so in fact, three routes are there. One is block diagram way, another one is SFG way, visualizing the block diagram as an SFG. Another way is a pure common sense way. With that also you can connect it. I'll go through that. Okay, so that you can get familiar to the remaining routes also. Okay. Yes, if you go by strictly block diagram route, you may feel it's relatively faster. It's strictly block diagram reduction way. So this 2 and 4 by s are in parallel. Okay, so it can be reduced into 2 plus 4 by s by using, that's a first reduction. 2 plus 4 by s will become 2s plus 4 by s. That's a first block. So then the whole becomes 2s plus 4 by s. So this is relatively faster route. We never know which one is faster. In this case, this is faster. But still, as a control engineer, we should know all the techniques. Then the resultant is going to be the closed loop control system. This is very instant. You don't need the third route also. Then what we have is you have 2s plus 4 divided by s. Okay, combining the two parallel blocks, then you have that integrator 1 by s. That's all. Okay, that's your output y of s. This is relatively faster unity feedback system. So then the net g of s reduces to 2s plus 4 divided by s square, and the net h of s is equal to 1. So then you can go by the transfer function. This is relatively faster comparing to the last technique, but you should know both. Y of s by r of s is, as per the control system standard closed loop, g by 1 plus gh. Okay, so this is very instant. Okay, yes. So you have to have a trade-off. You have to have an approach in the beginning itself. So whether shall I go with the block diagram route or SFG route? Okay, right? SFG is time consuming. This is faster for this problem. You have to imagine and take the route accordingly. So then what is a numerator 2s plus 4 by s square, and denominator 1 plus g is 2s plus 4 by s square into 1. Then taking LCM, you'll end up with the transfer function y of s by r of s that is equal to, so then numerator will be 2s plus 4. After taking LCM, s square will get cancelled, then you will end up with s square plus 2s plus 4. Straight away you can go for the answer option D. Okay, so somewhere I will give you the common sense route. Okay, right? So that's how, okay, we need to proceed. Okay, so you have to have a budget, time budget before beginning a problem. Okay, so both the routes are familiar means, yes, you will think of it and you have to choose the right method so that you get the conclusion quickly. Okay, right? It's all about rapid analysis. Okay, it may be circuit analysis or it may be a control system analysis. Whatever the subject, we have to conclude the problem as early as possible. Okay, as an engineer. Okay, yes. So we'll meet you with one more video. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe our channel. Okay, so we'll update. Okay, so we'll try to update the maximum number of solutions today for the electrical students. Okay, thank you.